In 1999, the military alliance NATO carried out airstrikes in Kosovo. The bombing killed around 500 civilians, but brought an end to the threat of genocide and crimes against humanity posed by the Yugoslav army at the time. An independent commission was set up to assess what went on and concluded that the bombing campaign was illegal but legitimate. How can something be illegal but legitimate in international politics? Today, we're going to talk about legitimacy. In Ian Clarke's study of international legitimacy, he asks you to consider that legitimacy sits in a hierarchical position above three norms: morality, law, and constitutionality. It's not synonymous with either, but draws its value from these through a process that involves power and consensus. This helps us understand the conclusion drawn by the Independent Commission, because basically they're arguing that within this specific circumstance, morality trumped legality because of the threat to civilians posed by the Yugoslav army at the time. Even though it was illegal, it was legitimate. Such thinking asks us to consider the complex relationship between law, morality, constitutionality, power and consensus. But once we grasp this, it helps us explain lots and lots of things that are going on around the world. For example, why are the Taliban at COP29? Are they really there to discuss climate change? Or is it that they're not recognised as the legitimate authority of Afghanistan and therefore cannot sit in the United Nations? They are attending COP29 therefore in an attempt to create a legitimate narrative around themselves. If they can get enough of the right people to recognise them, then this ticks the power and consensus box, which helps them tick the morality box, as though they are suddenly the good guys that deserve to be back at the United Nations. To give a final example, why is Putin shaking the hand of the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres? Well, is it because he's currently wanted by the International Criminal Court for forcible transfer of children from Ukraine? He is therefore trying to create a sense of legitimacy around himself. I'm a good guy. Otherwise, why would the UN Secretary General be shaking my hand? It was a big mistake by Guterres and gave Putin exactly what he wanted. It's important, therefore, to recognise that there's much more to international politics than simply brute power. Legitimacy is one of the most important things I can think of as we try to explain what is going on planet Earth.